Please forgive the sound of gentle rain and wind as I record this video outside. I actually wasn't even going to make this video. I'm going to be doing a concert review of Open Mike Eagle, who performed in Rochester on September 3rd. That's yesterday. And I wasn't even going to do a review. Truthfully, I really wasn't. I wasn't planning on it for two reasons. One, well, they're kind of connected. One is I basically consider him, a friend. I mean, we're not deep friends, He doesn't know how many of my grandparents are alive, and I don't know how many of his grandparents are alive. It's sort of like a professional friendship, but still, it's more than just acquaintances. We hung out for a couple hours yesterday. It was a very nice time, kind of walking around Rochester, talking about the city. I mean, I'm not going to tell you everything we talked about. I'll just give you three primary topics: Capadonna, YouTube, and squirrels. Okay, that's what we talked about for a couple hours, and it was nice. And so because I had that kind of personal relationship, it meant, one, that how am I going to be able to talk about this in a neutral way, and two, I just kind of thought it would be fine. I thought it would be good. I know I love his music, I think he's a great guy, so I expected it to be a good rap show. All right, not a bad one, but a good rap show. And I saw it, and I was blown away. And you might not believe this because, I had some kind of half-assed hipster poutine with the guy, but it really was one of the best rap concerts I've ever seen. He is, and I'll explain why in some detail in this video, but he seems to be completely aware of and work with the limitations of being a solo rapper in concert. I am someone, the second concert I ever saw was in 1991. I saw Public Enemy with Anthrax. I've seen tons of rap shows throughout the years, and I would say still, more than 50% of them have been disappointing because rappers don't know what to do on stage, don't know how to communicate their art. They'll just be going to a backtrack, or they'll just have 8 guys behind them waving towels and screaming, "You over there, scream! You over there, scream! Ladies, scream! Fellas, scream!" That kind of stuff. This was just it absolutely blew me away. And it's funny because it's not like I went in as a non-fan. I was a fan of his music, but there was something that was transmitted. There's a way that he transmits the message of his music that you get live, that you don't get, at least I don't get, recorded. There's even more of not the humility, but the humanity of his music comes through in his live performance, which is why I'm making this video. You've got to go see Open Mike Eagle if you can. He's currently touring with Fantogram. More on them later. Just go see the show. I ended up leaving, even though I was already a fan, and it reminded me of when my daughter went through a goth phase. Which, is not just a phase. It was a phase, but it was an important way for her to understand how to mediate music and culture and identity, all those things all at once. And so she took me to a Panic at the Disco show, along with her brother, who was not in a goth phase. And the show's over, and my son, her brother, just goes, "Whoa, that was amazing. How is he not more popular? How is that possible?" I said, "Son, he just sold out a hockey stadium in Buffalo, but I get your point." And that's how you feel watching Open Mike Eagle. How is it possible that not everyone is clamoring to constantly see him in show? So how is it? Why is it? I get more into specifics of the performance, but there's also kind of a mindset. And this is something I picked up in even just trying to coordinate meeting up with him. I asked him to meet up with me very last minute. I gave the directions as to where we're going, and it's a faraway city, and it's a place he doesn't know. And he was 7 minutes early. And I figured, it being so late and asking in a new city, I figured I'd be sitting out there in the sun. He takes this shit seriously, really seriously. When we hung out for a couple hours before sound check, and so when he went off to sound check, I made the joke "Oh, are you going to be like Woods? Are you going to miss the sound check?" And the way he looked at me was "You don't fumble the sound check. You don't do that." He is a worker who takes it seriously. And when I say that's rare, I don't mean that's rare for hip-hop artists. I mean that's rare for artists in general. Artists often are wrapped up in the romantic ideals. I think of Open Mike Eagle, just based on this performance, and actually in a lot of the ways he presents himself, more like Manet. If you don't know, Manet was a pre-impressionist artist. He was someone who helped to free up art, helped to have it be more of a personal vision, looser brushwork, that kind of stuff, transitioning from the classical phase to the sort of modern phase, ushering in Impressionism. And even though he helped to inspire essentially all abstract expressionism and the idea you have of crazy artists, the dude wasn't crazy at all. He just woke up, changed the history of art and human creation, and then went to bed. It was a job, and he took his job seriously. He wasn't writing love letters to prostitutes while cutting off his ears and shooting himself in the stomach with a shotgun, okay? And that's kind of the mode that he's in. And it's amazing how well it works, how well it transmits to his performance. Like, he treats his work so seriously that you can't help but give it that same level of seriousness. Before leaving, I did want to pay off something. I do a lot of giveaways, but I hate going to the post office. But I do officially have a winner of the Anime Trauma Divorce vinyl, which he sent me by mistake. So we're having like a Open Mike Eagle X Professor Sky giveaway. So I'll be sending that out. The winner's name is Poetry in Noise. Congratulations, I chose you randomly. Poetry in Noise. And I also, before the sound check, got Mike to sign this picture of Daffy Duck wearing wide leg Michael Jordan Generation X jeans. So please hit me up on my business email. Oh, and if Eric from Salem is watching, you on the Pusha T thing, so you can contact me there. So there you go. So we had a nice time, lunch, squirrels, YouTube, Capadonna. He goes off to sound check. I go back home, hang out with my kids. Brought some of that poutine back to my wife. She was psyched, man. And so then I go back to the show. And it's funny because the lady at the front, she actually recognized me from hanging around with Mike. And she's like, "Oh, you don't need a ticket, do you?" I'm like, "I'd already bought a ticket." Do you know why I bought a ticket? I want all artists to come to Rochester, New York, okay? You come to Rochester, New York, please. Please don't make me go to Buffalo. Please don't make me go to Toronto. Both beautiful cities, but far away. I got a family, you all. So I sit there, and it's kind of awkward because he's opening for Fantogram. Now listen, I've done this channel for 7 years, 3 albums a year for 7 years, on average. Ooh, that's some nice rain. And I'd never heard of Fantogram. So he was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's like not my genre." I looked them up. It turns out I've heard some of their songs. I know them a little. But so that means that I'm not going to be surrounded by people who are like me there for Open Mike Eagle. So I'm kind of standing. It's kind of awkward sitting around. And then I hear someone call out my name. But my full name, my government name, not Professor Sky, my full name. But now we got the sirens going in the background. Woo! And it was a student of mine who took a class with me in 2015 and told me it was the best class he'd ever taken. And he's told everyone to go take my class on French hip-hop. So, hey, that's a good way to start. And of course, doors open at 8, or it says on the page that the concert starts at 8. At 8 o'clock and 37 seconds, bam, Open Mike Eagle starts. And this is where I want to talk about what makes him so good in concert. One thing that he does is he does something. When you go to see a rap show, too often, it feels like they aren't doing enough. And it might be because they're rapping over a backing track where you hear the vocals. It might be because they're rapping, but like just rapping and playing over an instrumental CD. It might be that they don't know how to move. It might be they don't know how to integrate with the audience. He figured out this way. He has like a little milk crate, nice little affect to have like a little stand there that's a milk crate, tying back to the history of hip hop. And he has what he tells me is called a Novation Launchpad, which is like this little like laptop looking thing that allows him to play the beats off of his computer, but then like mess with the sound and put a flanger on it and create little beats and little pauses so that while he's getting ready to rap, he is also performing as something of a DJ, like actually mixing together some rhythm. So he's doing something. And you're sitting there and you're watching this guy all by himself. He's sitting up there all by himself, just doing this and playing these songs and making nice little rhythms. And then he starts rapping. And, it's just, God damn it. I feel when he got off stage, I told him how amazed I was. His response was kind of like, "Yeah, man, like this is what I do." And like maybe that's on me. But I legitimately did not know how good of a rapper he was until I saw him perform. Maybe it's that he's too smooth. Maybe his sounds are too smooth. And like when you listen on the record, like he doesn't feel like he's I don't know. It doesn't feel like he is working at the level that he's working at. At least I don't feel it when I listen to it. But when I watch it, goddamn, every single lyric is clear. Every single lyric is delivered with intention, is delivered with emotion when it needs to be. Sometimes he yells, and when he yells, it's powerful because he doesn't do it much. Sometimes he raps quietly, and that's when he needs to. He's got breath control. Like, seriously, the whole crowd, they're all there to see Phantograsm or whatever the hell they are, okay? They're not there to see Open Mike Eagle. They're not there to see the King of Salmon Jerky, all right? They are there to see this, like, cool electro duo who I guess is very popular with millennials, all right? I guess that's who they're there to see. And you can watch him win them over. Now, they're a good crowd. They're very open and accepting. They aren't an aggressive crowd. But, like, still, he's winning them over just with his rapping skill. Like, just they're able to, even though they are presumably not rap connoisseurs, just with the ability he has to deliver his rhymes in the proper rhythm, with the proper tone, the proper pace, it is just absolutely impressive. And then you remember that he's the singing guy, that he sings his own hooks. Am I going to be that kind of guy who thinks, yeah, but he probably doesn't sing that well because he's a rapper? You're damn straight I am. I expected him to not, like, to hit the notes basically, but the dude sings. Like, he actually knows how to, I don't know, maybe he took voice lessons or something. I don't know, but he, like, really sings. And I'll talk about that more in detail as I go into the songs. But he really sings really well, effectively and emotionally. So he's able to rap effectively and emotionally, sing effectively and emotionally, and then the whole time, he's just kind of like doing stuff. And he's not doing nothing. He's not the DJ, you know, like the DJ in Ibiza who's like just pressing the button and going like this, right? Like, he's actually making the different rhythms and the different sounds. And then we go back to the fact that he's an opener, okay? That's not an easy job, being an opener. Because you have to have confidence in the face of indifference. That's your job. Because even the best audience, and this is, I imagine this has to be one of the best bands to open for because the audience was way open to what he was putting out there. But even the best audience just wants the opener to get the hell off the stage and see the main act. Okay? That's what they want. And in the whole crowd, there was 3 guys who were doing the thing of rapping every lyric back at him. And for a musician with the level of fandom as he has, you should have at least 10 or 15. Come on, Rochester. One of you came by and said, hey, after the show, and said you liked both of us. So, hey, what's up, man? Rochester rules, right? But what he manages to do is one time I gave a talk at the Northeastern Modern Language Association conference in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There was a talk on the high-rise buildings and how they're represented in French hip-hop. Beautiful talk. Prepared it for 20 minutes, did all the work, made all the PowerPoints, did all the research. I went and gave a talk. There was nobody there, not a single person. Only the other panelists were in attendance. And when I gave that talk, I gave it like it was a TED Talk. I gave it like the 3 people who were in the room watching it with me had the ability to decide whether or not I live or die based on my performance of that talk that nobody's ever heard. Because that's what I do. That's what Mike said to me after the show. That's what I do. And he has the confidence and the professionalism to just perform in front of a pretty good audience for a Wednesday in Rochester. Definitely a pretty good audience. But he's able to have that confidence and just perform. That's why I actually think you might want to see him as an opener even more than as a main guy. Because his sort of self-effacing, self-awareness, the kind of Charlie Brown energy he can put out there, like, that's better in that space. So he doesn't have those jitters, you know, like, I don't know. So anyways, I'll go through the set list quickly. I didn't take a ton of notes because I was like trying to be there and be present and enjoy it. But it was the very first song, Legendary Iron Hood, that he explains is about Juggernaut, where just, holy cow, man, I was just, okay. Nothing's going to stop me the way he sings that. It's so powerful. And like the rapping and the singing, he gets the song I'll Fight You. It has this great flow and he just keeps doing the 1 and the 2. And that's where I realized he mentioned Haitian Dave. And Haitian Dave is Video Dave. I didn't put those two together. Anyways. And then we get to the song Very Much Money. And this is the song where I feel like you TikTok user are losing out. We need to give Open Mike Eagle a TikTok song hit to help him just cover being the king of salmon jerky, okay? Because this song should be the song of millennials, okay? It shouldn't be, what's that song? We are young, hey, da 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 da. You know that song? It shouldn't be that. It should be this. All my friends are superheroes, but they don't have very much money. And he takes the quiet moment to try to sell merch because, as Dev Lemons taught us, if you don't buy merch from the opening band, you are committing an act against art. This beautiful moment, little Cake Boss. Forgot about the Cake Boss shot out there. Cake Boss. And when he's singing the Say It to My Face, he's moving back from the microphone and singing it. The only other person I've seen do that well was Japanese Breakfast at that same venue where she take the microphone and be far away and sing it. But that's Japanese MF and Breakfast, one of the best singers in the world. And he's pulling off that. I tried to find other performances of this song. The Tiny Desk performance is good. It's good. But it doesn't come close to what it was actually like seeing him perform this song in person. I'm telling you, it is so fucking impressive. Man, just the emotional power of this song. The feeling that, like, it's like the thesis of his podcast, the thesis of much of his music, the thesis of this song. It's like the modern world does not want artists to make an easy living, or perhaps even a living at all. And that's a hell of a thesis statement. Anyway, he describes the oh my God, Microfiche was the song where that's where you saw the audience get over. Like, because he was just rapping so hard and going so well, and this is where he starts bringing in more dynamics and starts yelling. He wasn't yelling in the beginning, he's yelling here, and the audience just starts to get into it to the point where they are like in it. They are like there. It's one of my favorite things about teaching or giving a public speech, is there's a point where you know you have the audience. There's like a point where you know that, oh, they're with me. Oh, they're with me. It's the greatest moment. It's like how a lion must feel when it bites into the neck of a zebra, and it's like, oh, I got this. This is mine to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was it. This was the moment. And then he sings the song Relatable. Again, he talks about garbage plates, which is a local cuisine here. Talks about being relatable. Tries to relate here. It's just great. He really should be the dang voice of his generation. Contraband, awesome. We went and got like a strawberry spritzer before the sound check. And he was like humming something under his breath. And I thought he was humming this, and I called him out on that. But he said he was humming some Frank Black song. So anyways. Because I think it's because I've been humming that song all day. And, you know, he doesn't dance. He doesn't do like a kid and play thing, you know. But he does move just enough in his own way to the songs that gets the audience moving as well. He did a freestyle, just a killer freestyle. Super, like, most freestyles leave me feeling a little bit like, I don't know. But it was really well done, really emotionally powerful. Man, is this rain getting to you? It's getting to me. I got the mourning doves on the line. They're waiting to eat. Big Pretty Bridges. I know that he'll probably watch this. Dude, you got to make a Batman of the Minivan merch. I need a bumper sticker that says Batman of the Minivan, okay? The phone screen seemed to be where he was able to get the audience most engaged with him because he's telling a very relatable story to all of us. Relentless Hands and Feet. Keep me on running forever, on repeat, on repeat. He sings it so many times. You feel it. The pain, I think, of being an artist and having to keep going and having things to be so hard and make it. Like, he's able to communicate it. And then he plays the processional, the party song. The amount of confidence you have to be an opener and tell your audience to raise their hand and tell them to keep it there and have them keep it there, he's able to pull it off. But of course, it's the beauty of the lyrics. Party people, do you agree? If you disagree, you should feel free. But if you with it, raise your hand to the ceiling. I'm not afraid to ask again. Constantly showing his humanity, his vulnerability, and his like deep desire to make hip hop that people love. It was just great. Great show. So I think I missed a couple songs in there, but those are my main takeaways. So there you go. If you can, I think you have to see Open Mike Eagle in concert. It is like, I'm actually going to be mad probably for the rest of my life when other hip hop artists aren't able to do what he's able to do in this show. All right, well, until next time, where's the camera? It's right there.